Good day, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Geek Talk. And of course, we are here. I got me, I'm your host, Tony, as always. And with me, of course, I got my co-host, Dr. G.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing alright. Just kicking back and ready to rock and roll. So,
Do you want to rock?
I want to rock. I want to rock, roll, and everything else.
Just loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it. Ooh, ah, ooh, ee.
I was listening to that song. I was like, well, I like the song, because I remember it when I was growing up. It's by Loverboy, and it came out in like 86, 87, and I'm like, but they just didn't do the video.
Right.
They didn't know what they were doing in the video. The shots were off. Because the hook is loving every minute of it, and they didn't even emphasize that. They should have emphasized that.
Well, maybe I ought to geek it up and do kind of a geek style one on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's the hook. You when you think of a song, you think of the hook, and the hook is. I knew that was the hook, but it was like when I saw the video that I didn't connect the two. I'm just saying.
Hey, can't argue about
I mean, when you listen to the song without the video, you'll be like, oh, okay, this is a neat song. But that's not what you're seeing on the video. A video, I think that if you film a video and then, play the song, it's two different things.
Right. So, as far as geeking stuff, have you been watching anything geeky lately?
Oh, I got a story to tell about my wonderful husband. And last night, I got him to agree to watch Stranger Things on Netflix.
Okay.
But I had to show it on my computer because Netflix is on my computer. My TV wouldn't take Netflix yet. There's a way to do it.
Streaming device.
Yeah. Well, we have Xbox. We can do it, but I don't know how to have. Anyway, so, and he only got to the opening credits. And he said, turn off! I don't like this! I'm like, honey, it's just the first episode! You haven't even gotten past the... You're like, I don't want to watch this no more! He got mad. So, needless to say, my husband is a little afraid of Stranger Things.
Well, sometimes
He's
I wouldn't blame him.
He's like, oh, hell no, you don't leave your bike. Oh, hell no. He was yelling at the whole thing. He's like, oh. He's like, I don't want to watch this. Oh. He started crying.
Yeah.
I
haven't
Go
gotten
ahead.
to watch. I haven't gotten into watching Stranger Things yet. I actually did watch another Netflix original though. That was actually kind of animated, but it actually was. It's based off of the books, kind of. It's called Kulamari.
Okay. Kulamari.
And we all know some of the guests that are actually voicing some of that in there.
Wow, that's awesome.
One of which we actually had on Geek Talk. You and I have talked to one of the voices on this TV series. Phil Lamar actually voices one of the characters.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for him.
Along with Mark Hamill is another voice on it. He's actually voicing. So yes, there's some pretty big names for who they cast for voices on this, and they did it.
They must have been able to get him.
Oh, they did a really good job on this because, I mean, I watched it and I basically binge watched it in one day.
So they're books.
They're based off of books
first.
Right. It's basically Kulamari. an army of frogs, and let's just say that I took and watched it, and you know dang well for me to binge watch something in one day is
Yeah.
is crazy. But
Yeah.
I did
You're
binge watch.
crazy.
Well, yeah, it
Hey,
was.
you sure about that?
I don't know. I admit I'm crazy sometimes, but
You sure?
yeah, some of the gifts though that I've got hanging around in the closet somewhere are even crazier. I mean, got the Hondo hookup back there. Got Hondo and
You got the
everything.
Hondos. Yeah, Hondo's back there
I got Hondo. I've got
crashing around.
yeah. Yoda even hangs out sometimes back there. He gets away from Dagobah.
All right.
So when he
Yeah.
so, but yeah, he kind of drives me crazy trying to tell me that I shouldn't get angry about things, but it's like I work where I work. I can't help it. So, but I also got other characters back there that's hiding. So even Jar Jar
Mhm.
is every so often hanging around. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, so yes, Kulamari is an army of frogs. Basically, if you have not seen it, it is a Netflix original, and it is actually, as far as TV series and Netflix originals, I give it at least a good 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's how good it is. I
Mm.
mean, I just to get, because you can't start and get the story without actually finishing it and knowing how the story ends.
Wow. Mm.
Basically, because of the fact, like, say, Daredevil, you can stop for a while and actually still remember how the story ends. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the Kulamari is basically like the book. Is you pick it up and you start watching it, and you're sitting there like, ooh, this is interesting. What's the next episode going to be like?
And then you just keep watching.
Yeah. I mean,
So the books, are they books or are they comic books?
they're actual books.
Okay.
They're actual novels, and
Mm-hmm.
they are actually really well known. So, yeah, I would have to say, out of a Netflix original, it is really good. So, one of the better ones that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm also looking forward to another TV series that's going into season 3, and that is Gotham.
Woohoo! Yeah! Yeah!
Gotham,
Loving every minute of it.
Gotham comes out a week from Monday. So basically, a week from Monday, I will be sitting in front of the TV watching Gotham. And from what I'm seeing is hopefully they bring out different characters. From what I'm seeing, they're bringing Fish Mooney is back.
Yeah.
She's got her thing going on. Then you got the Riddler, Edward Enigma.
Yeah, but he's not just like Edward Enigma from the past seasons. He's like the Riddler.
Oh yeah, they're bringing him out the full force.
Like he is the Riddler at this point, right?
Yeah, he is the Riddler. He's actually basically his good side is no more. And basically, as far as his demeanor goes, he's actually trying to take control of Arkham Asylum. He's playing.
Oh.
He
was in Arkham Asylum the last time we saw him, and he almost got out, right?
Actually, he can get out if he wanted. But
okay.
what he's doing is he's playing Doctor Strange, Hugo
Yeah,
Strange,
which is
for a fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But B.D. Wong, who plays Doctor Strange, that's a really good actor, and he really developed Dr. Hugo Strange.
Yeah, he definitely brought that character out.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how the actual character is on the animated series and that stuff, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he brought it out big time. And the cool part is, at the same time, as Victor Fries is the guy who does Victor Fries really pulled that one out. I mean, granted, the storyline wasn't exactly the same, but it is.
Yeah, they keep switching Dr. Freeze's storyline. I like this one. I really do. I like the way they're developing Dr. Freeze. They're not making him like this sad, story child. They're making him more like he is a villain, and this is what villains do.
Right. So, on a different note, though, I'm looking forward to it. I am going to be starting a review every Monday. And if you want to join me, Gina, I'm sure I could probably... But it'll be mainly on Google Hangouts. If I do it, I will be doing a review of the episodes of Gotham on Monday nights. I'm looking
Review or reaction?
Review and reaction, probably.
Okay. Woohoo!
So...
But but Gotham comes on at your time. My time is later than yours, so...
Right. Well, my time might not be... Right. I'll be in bed by the time your time comes.
Yeah, because you gotta work.
Yep. I gotta work and everything else, so... But, yes, I actually am looking forward to it. I'm looking to make a...
So, it's on Monday still.
Yep. Starting on September 19th. So, the same week that I will be going out to the convention.
Woo!
So, yes.
You've been so excited about this convention.
Well,
we hope you have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. It's actually something that I'm surprised I am going in, but at the same time, I've been tweeting stuff about it and everything else and getting retweeted on it.
Woohoo!
So,
good for you.
But on a different note, I'm kind of surprised in this because of the fact that it kind of shows some of the stuff going on. But Disney is planning to quit Indian filmmaking. Basically, a.k.a.
What's
the
that?
Jungle Book.
Oh, you mean from India? Yeah, I read that about on some day they're going to pull out of India. They're not going to make Bollywood movies.
Right. Which I myself think that actually is some of their good stuff. I mean, Jungle Book, was a success for them.
In terms of what they did and the kind of thing they did not get the kind of monetary returns in the States that they had anticipated. Right. That's being honest. To them, it was very hard. Now, India Disney, because there's like subsidiaries everywhere, did pretty good for their market, but still not as big as some other movies in Bollywood, because if you know Bollywood movies, they have a flavor to them that, they do better. Basically what they were saying in that article that I posted is that they do better on their big movies that they normally produce out, which is like Star Wars and all those other movies in India, than they do with Bollywood type movies that they could do.
Right. Well, with what Disney is already said that with receiving more money for big budget movies like Marvel and Star Wars,
Yeah.
it makes sense. I mean, Star
For
Wars.
them, this is a monetary game. This is just money.
So, but yes, I guess in yesterday's news for some of this is James Gunn, who's going to be directing Guardians of the Galaxy, who y'all did V1, the first one.
Yeah.
I guess they actually, someone asked him about the voice of Baby Groot on Twitter. So,
Yeah.
basically, he goes, "You don't think the guy that plays Homer Simpson talks like that all the time, do you?" So, and he talks, so Vin Diesel is going to be doing Groot yet. So, he's actually going to be doing the voice of Groot, the baby tree.
Mm. Yeah.
So, basically pretty much all the people that were part of the first one are coming back as far as the main cast, like Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista. So, that's all going to be still the same. So it's going to be actually, I think they can do pretty good with that.
I would think that they lock them in for that from the first one.
Well, what I'm looking at is I'm looking forward to hearing Vin Diesel do Baby Groot, doing a childlike voice. Because that would actually be kind of funny.
Well, I mean, they're going to do some effects on it, you know.
Right.
Special effects. It won't be like him talking and them recording. It will be like...
Well, see, he'll actually probably do the voice, but they might pitch his voice a hair higher, but not but not that much higher, because I think he could probably do it.
Yeah.
Because
I don't even know if he'll switch his voice. I think they'll pitch it. I don't think they do that by effects.
It's hard to say.
I'm just saying.
Some of it, yeah, but it's hard to say. We'll have to see. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Volume 2. So. Yeah,
because it looks like, he's really talking about the development of his film without major plot point reveals on it. And he's on social media. He's really effectively using social media to explain, certain parts of his film that he is doing and the work that he does. So they either, I mean, even if you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy, and who doesn't like Guardians of the Galaxy around here, damn it. You should, if you want to be a filmmaker, it's not just you should be watching James Gunn's posting, because he doesn't have to do this. I mean, it's something he likes doing. And so, there you go.
Oh, yeah. So, but as far as other movie news, Daniel Craig, apparently, we heard that he didn't want to do any more James Bond.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
he's doing a James Bond?
Well, from what I'm reading here, is Sony, this is heard from Radar Online, has that the studio is offering Daniel Craig $150 million to reprise his role as 007 for 2 more films.
Wow.
They
must really like him as James Bond.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Daniel Craig can pull it off. He's pulled it off before.
But I'm wondering why he doesn't want to do it, other than he's bored with it.
It might be. I mean, how many different James Bonds have there been?
About 7, because there's a marathon that has been going on, and we're talking like the Bond villains. We're like, yeah, Trump is Art Goldfinger. That's what we've come to deduce.
Right.
And we can't say that Hillary Clinton is pussy galore, but
Okay,
that's
well,
just
going
different
from...
stuff.
Alright, so basically I just double-checked on that story. Radar Online printed. I guess, let's see here. It said, on Hotfix, it says Daniel Craig is not set for $100 million, $50 million.
What is he set for?
Let me get into this.
I mean, what would it take for you to talk me as Daniel Craig into doing this movie?
I think depending on how bad he wants to do it, or would want to do it. Let me have this loaded up here. But Office apparently is saying that the story is wrong.
Oh, well.
Okay.
I think they go back and forth.
Okay. Reset. It's really going with Daniel Craig feature series. What became clear immediately is there is no big story at the moment. Who will play this film? So there will be an announcement about what Sony is doing regarding the distribution of the next film. So
This is Sony.
EON basically.
Sony has a problem.
But yeah, Sony is the deal. The people who actually own James on the EON is not too happy with the way the Sony deal worked, and Sony apparently wasn't happy with it either. So it is possible that Sony might be losing the Bond franchise. So
There are some things that they have to.
So basically,
Sony.
that story is says the guys did not says that something in the of the character. They don't even have it unknown, so Sony doesn't have the right buff.
It just gets made there.
Right. Basically, do secure right. Apparently, they have 2 law for early Pete and Craig 7. So, base story is basically they films, which is true with Bond still make back to back. So. It's how I'm another person to try playing James Bond. So, but
it's all about girl anyway. Sorry.
Well, basically maybe, and they said that they could pay $150 films. The answer was not likely at all, but maybe. That's a big maybe. So, and
well,
story,
no, they kind of tease the Star Wars.
Yeah, well, tease the Star Wars though.
They're like a bunch of people are in Star Wars, but you don't know that they're in it.
Right.
They're gonna do that for Rogue One too. They're gonna be sitting there and you like play a rock. That's what I'll play. I'll play a ship. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like for a Bond film, but it's hard to say. So, but again, that's Hollywood might get it and say, no thanks. So,
yeah.
but
well, as long as there are some, but the way it's changing is big business, and big business is making the decision on that. Who knows?
Right.
I mean, are spy movies to the level of James Bond still interesting to people?
Well, James Bond has still a good following, but at the same time, the latest movies, have not really been pulling the numbers like they should. Mainly because of the fact of the bad script and everything. Not because of the actors, but because of the script. The story does not.
You think so?
It usually is about good 60% of the time is the bad script.
Yeah.
The writers. Because if you figure it, the writers have a lot to do with it. So, but on to another news in the Marvel universe. In Marvel here, is Spider-Man Homecoming. Jon Favreau, a big name, of course, is actually to be appearing on Spider-Man Homecoming. It looks
Yeah,
like,
they're really.
yeah, they're actually pushing the Spider-Man. So, but yeah, not only did he direct the first Iron Man, but let's see here. So basically, it looks like you got Iron Man appearing,
Part. Mm-hmm.
and Robert Downey Jr.'s right-hand man is showing up.
Yeah.
So, which is actually going to be interesting to throw. They're going to be throwing something like that in. The question I have is based off of, is Marvel going to take an attempt to bring Spider-Man into the Avengers?
Was he in the Avengers originally?
Not originally, but later on down the road in the comics, he actually was part of the Avengers. The new Avengers. So, yeah, it actually. So, but yeah, I'd like to see it. So, but as far as some of this that I am actually covering here in this couple weeks, is some anime, is Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's actually the Final Fantasy trailer is going to be featuring some anime cutscenes.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Great.
So this is some gaming stuff now.
Okay.
Let's see here. I guess Aniplex, which is an back in Anime Expo, and of course, revealing that it would be holding a special 2-day event called, looks like a Aniplex. It's going to be Iba Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's going to be in Little Tokyo, it says. I'm not for sure where Little Tokyo is, but it's in downtown Los Angeles this year. Basically, It's an anime convention down in Los Angeles on the October 15th through 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are in the Los Angeles area, check it out. I'd like to know what you think of it. And if it happens to be I get a chance to get enough money to go out to Los Angeles, I'll actually I'll take and come out there and see about getting a media pass or whatever, and then you can meet me. But basically, the 1-day tickets are available for $15. 2-day tickets, it's actually a very affordable convention, looks like.
Yeah. Looks like.
For 2-day tickets for both days, $25.
Mm-hmm.
Purchased ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be $5, $30 if bought at the door. So that's actually sound good. I'm kind of seeing some pretty good stuff. I mean, it's got a lot of Japanese writers and stuff like that, actual Japanese stuff. So basically based off of the true anime.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. If for all my friends are listening out in Los Angeles area, yeah, check it out. I'd like to know how it is. So, I know you don't get to Los Angeles.
No, I have to stay away from LA.
Oh, were you?
I really
did. You do something bad?
No, it's just LA and me, and I was LA's cousin, and they kind of don't like me, and I don't like them, and
right.
It's just like whatever. If it's not in San Diego, I'm not going. So.
Well, I guess in Forza Horizon 3, for those who play racing games, and who don't mind Halo in a racing game,
Mm-hmm.
The Halo's Warthog is coming to Forza Horizon 3. They're crossing over. Apparently the Forza game writers got approval from to have the Halo Warthog come to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's basically a big 4x4.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, I'd like to play that. I used to jump in the Warthog all the time on Halo. Jump in the Warthog, drive that sucker around like nobody's business.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. But it wasn't as much fun when I didn't have a gunner. Because my gunner used to protect me from when I was driving, so.
Mm.
But yeah, it's fun and I good. So, as far as TV stuff, it's about Gotham already.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the new season of Flash yet. Season 2, that is. For all the
Yeah.
Doctor Who fans, though, we got Doctor Who returns on April 2017. So basically, they might be casting Peter Capaldi again.
They're going back?
Apparently, they're going to have Capaldi again come into the Doctor Who series.
Mm.
So, which is actually really interesting because of the fact that I know for Matt Smith, they didn't have signed for a second round. So, I'll have to see. But as far as another Netflix, looks like Netflix is going to try the Mythbuster Trio.
They were upgrading it to the assistant.
Yeah, they're going to have the...
Like Grant Imahara and the woman and the other guy.
Yep, Tori
It won't
Belleci
be...
and Carrie. Grant, Tori, and Carrie. All...
Not the... they'll have the other guys that were in charge, but they will be infrequent.
Right. But yeah, let's see here. They've already started production for the new show.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna... Let's see here. Basically, I guess since they left the Mythbusters, of course. Let me look here. I mean, Grant's been part of the Star Trek Continues series. So...
He's a 501st member.
Yep. Well, he worked for Star Wars. He actually
Yeah?
helped. He actually helped with the R2, the droids, and that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So basically, the team announced during their panel at Dragon Con this year, they're debuting in a new show on Netflix entitled The White Rabbit Project.
Mm.
And this will be available on December 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd have to check that out. So, because of the fact they actually did really good work on the Mythbuster stuff.
Yeah. We need more of that, in my opinion.
Right. And
But
maybe...
as a scientist, we do need more broadcast of what is science and what is not. What can be proven and what cannot.
Right.
And these guys actually captured most people, everyone who I knew in science, would watch this show and thought it was, it was funny to them, but
right.
But
maybe...
it was like really did support, this is why it happens here.
Right. Well, something I would like to do is maybe down the line we could attempt to get Grant onto the show. get one of those
That'd be
guys
cool.
on the show, because being the Star Trek continues and all that, he's been part of the sci-fi universe quite a bit. So
Maybe.
we'll have to see what we can do. I'll have to, because
Mm,
since they left the show, I can't get them through the MythBusters. So,
no.
but let's see what I can do for in the next down the line, and maybe get him down the line. So, but
Mm,
otherwise, it's not too bad. That's actually pretty cool that they're getting that new show.
mm-hmm.
As far as let's see here, another show on Netflix, and also ABC, is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe, the Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
is going to be taken and being on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, entertainment picture of Jed Whedon as the Ghost Rider.
Wow. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
This is surprising, but not.
Why?
Well, the thing is you know how normally the Ghost Rider is the riding on a hog on a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's his trademark is the motorcycle. I
Yeah.
guess this time they're going to actually have him driving an American muscle car.
Mm.
This would be interesting, but the thing is I'm just wondering how it's going to turn out, because of the fact that Ghost Rider's known for his trademark motorcycle, and that's right why they call him the Ghost Rider. How is that going to look for him to drive a muscle
Mm-hmm.
over a motorcycle? You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know. I wonder why they chose that. They couldn't get Harley Davidson to sign up for it or something.
I'm not for sure, but it would have to be, might be because of the fact that they're just kind of changing him up a little bit.
No. There's another reason, and the reason is we're not sure.
It's possible that they couldn't get a sponsor to provide a motorcycle.
Well, no, they could get. They're going to take that motorcycle, whatever the skeleton is, and make it into the Ghost Rider motorcycle.
Right.
But the thing is that if they wanted the stuff that the Harley Davidson has, or even Indian has, it would have been. They just decided not to do that.
Right. Not be actually like a sponsor or anything like that.
Because at any rate, the motorcycle skeleton part is going to be probably Suzuki or Yamaha anyway, so
Yeah.
so that's probably why they decided to go to American Muscle, because American Muscle is
Well, American muscle cars, I mean, heck, you can take and soup those suckers up to where it looks really bad.
yeah, they liked the Chevrolet and the Ford and the whatever they're going to use. I mean, GMC.
They might actually use like not Chevy, but trying to think here what ones are actually really good. The 57 Chevy is okay, but I mean, you can't beat a Camaro or something like that.
Who knows what they'll use?
It's hard to say.
I mean, will they use old cars or
are they going to use the new car?
new cars, And they do have a lot of product coming on the line for new cars.
Oh yeah, But yeah, I think in a way it's Ghost Rider. It's possible they might actually go some of an older car. I mean, because you take a '57 Chevy or something like that, and you can throw that sucker into a full fire stage.
Yeah.
So, but as far as that goes, it's going to be interesting to see how they come out with it. So, but on another note, another piece of news, Deathstroke is going to be in Arrow.
Yeah, because Deathstroke's going to be in the new Batman, right?
They're talking about that, but the thing is Deathstroke, though, the Deathstroke is going to be in Arrow. They're going to have a new Batman.
Right.
Usually, how it's been for the new adventures. Like, say, for the Arrow for Green Arrow, they're gonna probably, if they do have a Green Arrow later on in the Justice League, they're not gonna have the same Stephen Amell as Arrow.
No, but what I'm talking about is the character itself.
Oh yeah, that's the character that's gonna be in the Death is gonna be in the new too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's be interesting to have that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. And we did talk about Stranger Things happened. Is he do?
Yeah.
So, yes. That's pretty all new. Pretty much got in a way. I will be starting next week, probably, on Monday, on the Gotham Minute moment to work about Gotham. I will start on covering Yu-Gi-Oh! More. How to build a deck and all that. And at the same time, I'll also be taking and posting my coverage of Anime Fargo in the next couple weeks.
Woohoo!
So, yes, lots of things going on. And I will be working on a new opening for the YouTube videos. So, it's going to be exciting. Hope you guys, everybody, tunes in more. Because of the fact that it will actually be chaining up things. And we will be doing more live videos. So, and all that. So if you guys like what you listen to, take and subscribe down below. And all that. So, and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/geektalk1. And then also the Geek Talk at Twitter. On Twitter is at geektalk1 or 01.
All right.
Geek Talk 01. And of course, you got Gina's stuff where that she can you can follow her at swag77 on Twitter, if I'm correct.
Star Wars Actors Guild 77.
Yep. So, and then you can also follow her on Facebook too. Catch up with all the Star Wars fun stuff.
Any search for swag_77. You will find me. You could just search for it and you'll find me. I live there. There's many things that we gotta. Yeah, there's many things that we've got to work on, and one of them is expected behaviors on social media. A lot of people come in, and I was talking about this recently. It's like, we're going to find the rebels, because this is about Star Wars Rebels coming up. And then they were like, well, you need more Jedi. Wait. That's a power play, and we're kind of like, dude, no way. You can't, what?
So, okay, so have you heard anything about this first episode of the new season of Rebels?
It's an hour long, and that it's going to have Grand Admiral Thrawn in it.
Okay,
and
so this first episode is going to have Thrawn.
Yeah, that's pretty much established, and how he's going to be in there, we're not quite sure. We're not sure about the Mandalorians and what the Mandalorian, there's some new Mandalorians that are in there that work for the Empire, and how that will play out at all.
So
well,
that's
it's going to probably be 2 episodes between the two. It's like one episode is them doing super duper stuff, and another episode is Grand Admiral Thrawn coming into the game.
Okay, so, and of course you can tune into Star Wars Rebels if you haven't tuned in already, in your own time zone. Keep your eyes on your TV listings. So. Yeah,
it's interesting how it works, because we're on the, we have most of the players for Star Wars Rebels, then some. We've added a few to protect ourselves. The thing that we see is a lot of people have imaginations, and they take it to another level. So we're like, whoa, you guys are going a little bit off, and once you go off, fights ensue, and we're going to see like people just freaking out because the episode didn't work out the way you thought it would, and it's like, dude, why don't you just watch the episode and enjoy it? That's pretty much what it's for. And they had expectations that,
Right.
But I mean, I don't want to brag about, the kinds of things that we do, but if you need that, then it's most what we say is getting noticed by Lucasfilm. So by workers, they like it. Sometimes they respond. There are certain things that we say, we don't really get Pablo Hidalgo. He doesn't like us, so we're all right with that.
Right.
He feels weirded out having the characters talking to him.
Right.
But he hasn't. He himself has never really seen the characters talking. He's never seen. He was not on last year, so he's now that he's on, he's going to see the power of what we do. And while there are many other groups that do what we do, they're not unified as we are. So, just tooting my own horn. Hello? Hello? I don't know if anyone else could see it. It's a swag thing. This is Geek Talk, and Geek Talk talks about all the stuff that's in Geek.
Sorry about that. Had to step away for a moment.
Yeah.
So.
I like talking to myself.
Well, I was just letting you talk about the Rebels.
No, I don't focus on Rebels. Rebels is going to do a lot of reveals for Rogue One. It's already in there in half of the images that they post up, and it's kind of funny to me, but...
Right.
But, I mean, you know, people are freaking out because they didn't expect it. And it's like, well, what are we supposed to do, really?
Right. So, but yeah, it's going to be it would be interesting.
Yeah, our biggest question that we got, that we put on Twitter for the polling was, is Darth Maul gonna die? And will Thrawn kill him? And I don't think Thrawn will kill him, personally, myself.
Well, I don't think Maul's going to get killed badly.
No, he won't.
If Maul and Thrawn meet up, I think it's going to be one of those things where they're going to take and Thrawn's going to more use, either one of them's going to use the other one.
Well, we, at last year's Star Wars Celebration, we had a Thrawn cosplayer come in, and he's helping us out with some of the ideas. And he had his friend play Joris Kabath, and it's the Jedi that he was able to help him. Thrawn was able to help him in Heir to the Empire. So you had these two cosplayers, and at the end of talking to him, he's like, I got to take my Jedi B.
Right.
So it would not be beyond me for Thrawn to take his Sith B, make him his, yeah.
It's hard to say.
Thrawn would do some, once he figures out, if Thrawn figures out, Maul, because to be honest, I mean, this is saying the Thrawn account on Twitter has said things to Sam Witwer and Jez, and Sam Witwer has responded angrily.
Oh, so...
And, you know, like Maul would respond. So we're like, oh, there's something going on here that we don't know about. So, while, you know, we think that Thrawn, you know, once Thrawn figures out Maul, that's it. You make Maul do whatever he wants to do.
Right.
And the way, it'll be just the same way he did it in the book, Heir to the Empire. The same way. Same exact way.
Well, that'll be interesting.
You know, I mean, Kabath knew what Thrawn was doing, but he's favored Thrawn because you know, Thrawn appealed to his emotions, and you know, Thrawn has no emotion, so when he appeals to your emotions, he already has figured you out. By that time, you're already figured out.
Are you sure Thrawn don't have too many emotions?
He has emotions, but they're different. They're not kind that you really find out. He knows how to hide them well.
So he's kind of like a Mr. Spock.
Yeah, he is. Yes, so. He's an evil Mr. Spock. He's a villain Mr. Spock. To be more, because that's what we even sold it that way. We even told Star Wars to honor Leonard Nimoy and memorize him. He could be Star Wars and an evil Mr. Spock.
Well,
we said it that way. We said it that way. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, he motion at the end, you know, but a way that is unexpected.
Right.
And it makes them look like that. They at a very, very early age not to show them that, but Chiss naturally do have emotions. It's a little bit too much. He's for a Chiss, he's more emotional.
So, well, that's really cool. So.
Yeah, so we will see parallels with Star Trek but it will be evil. Evil. Just think evil Spock. I think there was even an episode of Evil Spock.
Yeah, there was, actually.
So it will be evil Spock, but it'll be evil Spock all the time. And then you have to add the art and the music. You know, that's why we had it as a running joke that Thrawn's playlist is all heavy metal deathcore.
Yeah.
We're like, rock on? Yeah! I have to put some Rush in there.
If you're really going to go heavy metal, you got to go Ozzy.
Yeah, okay, what song? You didn't introduce? Tell me which song. I'll stick it right in there.
Basically, you figure Crazy Train.
Okay, Crazy Train.
You got Iron Man.
Oh, I like Iron Man.
You have,
Is that really the Iron Man is the name? I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Cause see, I was back in the day. I like Judas Priest.
Yeah. See, Iron Man. You want to also have for heavy metal is Alice Cooper.
Yeah, I think I have him on there. He's more into deathcore. So we got some deathcore people who follow us. We got bands that follow us.
Right. So, yeah.
Black Sabbath sings Iron Man.
Yeah, well, Black Sabbath was led by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said
didn't know that.
So,
yeah. Well, I don't know. There is a Thrawn Chillax playlist. And on the Chillax playlist, there's a lot of metal. There's a lot. They're like, and even the metalheads that follow our page are like, yeah, they start introducing more stuff. The metalheads on our page are like, yeah, you gotta add this, you gotta add that, you gotta add that. We got a lot of metal on there.
right.
So yeah, Thrawn is a metalhead. Sorry guys, he don't like rap. He don't like, and I like rap.
Well, he don't like country, that's for sure.
He ain't not gonna play country. He don't like country. See, I got AC/DC. I got Lamb of God.
Motley Crue?
I don't have Motley Crue yet, but I gotta stick that in there. I got Bounce, the Poodle Song, Mastodon. I got Bloodsport. I got the new stuff, mostly. I don't have the old stuff. I gotta stick the old stuff in there. I had this one thing. I got the Extreme Brutal Metal Deathcore Music Collection. Dawn of Demise. So I get people saying stuff. I just know sing them. So I start singing heavy metal. I grew up with this stuff, so, and I'm not good at it, so I listen to more rap. But Ron listens to metal, guys. Just get that through your head. He does listen.
Okay. So what does Sabine...
Just do not listen to metal, okay? Let's make that clear. Only Thrawn does.
So, okay. So, what, for those who are into Sabine, what would her playlist be?
Oh my god, oh my god. I don't even want to know what her playlist is. A bunch of electronic technic stuff. Just really, seriously? Oh my god.
So she'd be more techno.
Yeah, she'd be like in all this. I don't even know the songs. After a while, you turn it off. It's not music. Thrawn would have to educate her a lot. Like, what kind of music are you listening to?
So basically, nobody would really exactly know what she's listening to except for her.
Yeah. Well, nobody would care what she's listening to except for her. So, now, I mean, there is another Thrawn playlist on the YouTube channel that you will see. It's called Thrawn's Playlist, and it's just a general playlist of classical music. And the classical music that he listens to is to use to decipher the opponent and destroy them. That's what
Right.
he'll listen to the classical music to learn how to about the part of that. But chill playlist, and that's what you're looking for, and it's all metal.
Right.
And I've allowed other people wanting to add more metal to it. I don't care. I'm a blues fan, so I like
blues, rhythm and blues.
Yeah, I listen to it. I'm open to that. I listen to all kinds of music. I'm weird like that, but that's some old. But as far as I decided that because Thrawn is a little bit more emotional for chicks than what of their society, they exiled him.
Right.
Music is.
Oh, so because of his music, the rest of his bands kicked him out.
This. They didn't want to rock.
They don't like
That's
rock.
pretty sad. They like to rock. What's wrong with the Chiss? They don't rock. Rock on, yeah. Whereas Imperials, they won't admit to it, but they do. Even Vader listens to rock.
Dang.
So.
So, anyways.
Even Insidious rock. Come on.
Right. Oh.
So they accepted him. So yeah, that's the joke. That's the running joke of our campaign.
So, that's pretty cool. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up for there. And everything else. So,
Okay.
until next week, everybody. Where later this week I will try to do live shows this weekend. Because I'm going to might be out of town tomorrow on Thursday this week. And
All right.
so until next week, everybody, keep your feet on the ground and keep aiming for those stars.